All right. Project M is something that I very recently got involved in, just in the last couple of weeks. And as I said before, I haven't played Smash in like a couple of years. I mean, it's not a prominent thing in my life. Uh, if you guys have played the demo of Project M, compared to what's been done since the demo, that is absolutely terrible. We don't have any sort of like release date or whatever on the next version, but it'll come. The game has gotten so much better. Toph actually just said in the chat room, Project M is an amazing game, but you have a very high barrier of entry. You need a modded Wii and all this sorts of stuff. That's actually not true. I do not have a modded Wii.
What?
All I have is an SD card, and once the version is released, all you have to do is put the files on your SD card, put it in your Wii, and that's it.
Wow. I didn't know. I had no idea about that. That's epic.
Now, you will need a copy of Brawl, yes. You'll need to own the game.
Yeah.
But I don't have a modded Wii. I don't want to mod my Wii. That was one of the things that I used to think, you know, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to mod my Wii. I don't want to ruin this, ruin that, whatever. But knowing that, and now I'm a play tester, so I'm in the back room doing testing to see if things are balanced out or whatever else.
Or bugs.
Just making sure that things are done appropriately and done correctly. And not that I'm the be-all say-all. There's a whole bunch of players. Now, a lot of people say, why don't you just play Melee or whatever? I don't know how long most of you have been playing. I played Melee for years and years and years and years. And yes, it's still a great game. But, I mean, you try to play Bowser for 5 years and go into it every time all amped up and like, oh man, yeah, let's do this. It gets a little old. And what Project M does, rather than having to learn a new game like you would have done with, let's say, Brawl when Brawl came out, you use Melee physics and you have new Melee characters and better Melee characters that still play, and you understand what they're about as soon as you turn it on. It's really an incredible project. I've never heard of a community doing anything like this. I think it says something for how dedicated Melee players are, and it kind of says something about how really crappy Brawl was, to be honest. But, if you know of anyone in your area that is a play tester, or you have any interest in this at all, smashmods.com is a site where you need to go. You need to go to that website and even just apply to be a play tester. If you play a lot and you have a good grasp of Melee, put yourself out there. Say, hey, I want to get in this. Now, there's not a huge thing of play testers right now. It's in my area, we actually have a lot in Washington. Yagi, who's an old school SkyPal player, myself, and then Silent Wolf. We are all play testers right now. Fly who's in the Melee State of the Game right now with us. He is one of the play testers. It's amazing. I mean, I don't even know what else to say about it. I haven't liked Smash for 2 years. And this game has got me so amped up that I'm on Melee State of the Game. Like, I'm here chatting about Smash Brothers with you guys, out being almost as vocal as I used to be. You know, putting YouTube videos up, this and that. I wish I could give you guys more information, but just like, try to play it. Try to get to somebody who's a tester, who has a little bit more recent build or whatever. You're not going to be able to play every character because some stuff isn't finished. It's not supposed to be out in the open. But just trust there are good people in this project who are really working to balance things out. The Melee characters that were good still feel like the Melee characters that are good. I don't want to necessarily say this because I feel like people are going to get upset, but this is a better Melee. Even if it was released and done right now, this is a better Melee.
Those are some pretty bold words.
I agree.
Those are bold words, yes. They're very bold words.
Oh no, man. Like, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
Yeah, no it is. No it is.
I don't know.
Project M don't even have Mewtwo. I mean, what's up with that?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You two players can keep playing Melee, I guess.
The Ganon is overpowered in Project M.
No,
It's
Ganon
very difficult to
was
say.
overpowered in Project M. See, that's one of the
Also-
things I don't like it when people do. When people call out, they say, X character is overpowered, or this is too good, or this is too bad. The game is a very fluid, very dynamic thing right now. Like in the past week, there have been alterations to probably about 12 different characters to try to balance out, even ones that most people wouldn't think were imbalanced.
So why are they trying to balance
Earlier
before all the
today,
characters
I
are there?
changed about 5 characters with updates in about the last 12 hours or so. They're very recent. They're very
Yeah,
recent
just even
updates.
today, that's what's happened. Now, you're right, Kake. Ganon was overpowered. I think you can say that. Or not necessarily overpowered.
No, not overpowered, but just like he's like top tier for sure now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Not necessarily overpowered compared to some of the other characters, but the guy is very, very powerful. And
I mean,
that's
like,
kinda you know, I bet when you played
has
Project
more-
M Ganon, you kind of thought, now this is how Ganon really is, you know?
How are you balancing when you don't have all the characters? Like as soon as like
do.
Squirtle comes in, it's gonna change everything. Like
No, we do have all the characters. The playtesters have everything right up to right now. I mean, like I said, something has been changed in the last probably hour and a half about a character. A Charizard, for example, got a very small change just a moment ago. We can play every character. We have good people playing every character to see where their flaws are, to see where their strengths are, where characters can get better. Because from what I know, most of the people who are in the
oh shit, my internet.
basically trying to make it so that every character is as good as the Melee top tiers were in Melee, which is difficult to do,
Yeah.
which is why it's taking so long to do it.
Um,
So,
you're really making me excited for this. I really want to do it now. But we actually have someone on campus who is a Project M tester. He was a Brawl player. I don't know why he was testing Project M. But anyway, he got banned because he like let some other people play it, and now he
Yeah,
can't.
now-
That's fucking retarded. That is
Well-
the example of what I don't like.
now that is a different type of a case. It depends what's going on. As I said, I'm kind of new to this. One thing that's trying to be contained is not necessarily letting demo copies get out to everybody. Now, the reason for that is people get attached to things. So, as I said, the game is very fluid. Some characters have changed really quite dramatically from what they were in Brawl. If you were to have played a demo of this game 2 weeks ago and not play it until the game comes out, and you expect that character to play that way, you're going to be disappointed. That's one of the reasons why we don't necessarily want people jumping in and saying, oh, well, this is awesome. I really like this overpowered thing. People get really attached to stuff that's too good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's
So-
interesting.
It's one of those things where we want the hype to get out there. We want people to play it, but we need to also be careful who we let people play. Like we just put out that Project M testers can use to run tournaments, a tournament build that we can get up to date and have people play if we want to go play with everyone. Now, it's not every character, no. You're not going to be able to jump in there and play with, let's say, Olimar right now because he's just not ready.
Okay.
You know, but you can jump in there and play with all the characters who are what we will call mostly done. And, you know, to a point, I've been agitated with some things about the ways that Smash Mods can do things, but overall, this is really an amazing project. And, I mean, I know that I'm just like, it's so awesome, it's so awesome, it's so awesome, and then it's kind of like, well, you have to believe me because you can't really play the full game right now. Try to get to somebody that is a tester and have them have a tournament or something like that in the area, because we can do that with the tournament build and get people to play it and get people hyped up, because it's really an incredible project.
That's neat. Yeah. Okay. Well, Gimpyfish, I assume that you will be giving me your full recommendation whenever I apply to be a Project M tester.
I'll vote for you.
There we go. You have to be voted in?
You have to be approved. We can't just let everybody in.
Well, fuck. Then well, if it's a vote, then there's gonna be plenty of people who don't like me. So that kind of sucks.
It's not quite as scary.
Wow,
as
you're
it
assuming too quickly.
sounds like, to be honest. It's what you have to do to apply. Just to go over it a little bit, you go to Smash Mods. You can go in there and just kind of click on playtester applications or whatever it is. You say a little bit about yourself. You know, so mine was, I'm Gimpyfish, I'm from Washington, I've played at these tournaments, I want to be a tester. And then they send you like a questionnaire. The questionnaire is very important. Very, very important. It basically tells us if you're going to be able to give good feedback. So if you fill out the questionnaire and say, yeah, man, I really liked it, it was cool, well, that's not really good feedback. If you play the game and you say, you know, I thought that this move wasn't quite good enough, or I thought this was a little overpowered, and here's why, here's some things that I would fix, or whatever, you know, actually answer the questions. And there's a lot higher chance you get in. Also, if you live in an area that is relatively populated, if you can say, you know, like I could say, hey, I get the chance to play with Silent Wolf and SkyPal and those guys, and we have a pretty good community over here. Well, that's a great incentive. If you play with people, then put in an application. I mean, there's no problem to that. The more testers, the more people who can do programming we have that are on the same kind of mental thought process as far as where things are going, where things should be going, you'll want those types of people in there, and it'll go faster.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Well, I think I might actually apply to that because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, well, Project M is a great game, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it. Like I
incredible.
played with a playtester here, and yeah, I don't know, but the characters feel funny. I don't know. I tried.
They did in that build. They did in that build. I agree with you. The older builds feel really fun.
Right now I'm
There's something
actually
not
on
right about
the
older
screen.
builds where
It's the same thing.
things have been updated since.
No, but I mean, like I played like a Genesis 2. It felt awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's see.
All right, so go ahead.
I tried Meta Knight and to see how OP he would be in the melee setting, and he's pretty damn OP still.
Yeah, he's a work in progress for sure.
Okay, wait. I was away for a second. Who are we talking about?
Meta Knight.
Meta Knight.
Meta Knight.
And I'm saying like he still has this great priority, and I don't know, like it works well versus all the melee characters.
He still has most of the traits that made him good in Brawl.
Yeah, I don't know, he's cool.
Basically, everybody in the long run, you're supposed to be tight. Like whatever character you play, that character is tight. There's no character right now that everybody hates. Like for example, I have a couple of characters that I hate. I've always hated Ice Climbers. Sorry, Fly.
Yeah.
I've always
I don't
hated.
care, everybody does.
Wait,
Snake
wait.
is-
Okay.
Snake's a lot
Don't say I'm
cooler
sorry to
than
me,
you
I
thought.
guess.
Well, sorry. I just think Ice Climbers are really like they're awful to play against.
Yep.
I've always hated Snake in Smash because of Brawl, and I still don't like him, but most people think he's really awesome. And then Olimar is a work in progress. I don't really like that character either, but from where we're going with him, he's going to be really tight. And so is everybody else. I mean, it's there's so much put in there just based on, you know what would be really cool if this was added to this particular move, or you know it would be awesome if this character could do this there. So there's little flares that make characters way cooler and not necessarily just like we must balance and be serious. It's just much more involved than that.
Cool.
Hmm.
Well, that's
Well,
neato.
It definitely shows, like in the every character has their own like uniqueness now, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well, and I
characters
think-
are a little more separated.
One nice way of putting it is that we want the characters to preserve their own flavor. We want them to all have their own interesting play styles, yet still be good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to, like, make Bowser really good by turning him into Fox or something. You want him to still play like Bowser, but be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome, actually. So
That's fun.
there we go. Well, apparently nobody really has any questions to ask.
The demo, that is absolutely terrible. We don't have any sort of like release date or whatever on the next version, but it'll come. The game has gotten so much better. Toph actually just said in the chat room, Project M is an amazing game, but you have a very high barrier of entry. You need a modded Wii and all this sorts
Don't
of
need a
stuff.
modded
That's
Wii.
actually not true. I do not have a modded Wii.
What?
All I have is an SD card, and once the version is released, all you have to do is put the files on your SD card, put it in your Wii, and that's it.
Wow. I didn't know. I had no idea about that. That's epic.
Now, you will need a copy of Brawl, yes. You'll need to own the game.
Yeah.
But I don't have a modded Wii. I don't want to mod my Wii. That was one of the things that I used to think, you know, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to mod my Wii. I don't want to ruin this, ruin that, whatever. But knowing that, and now I'm a playtester, so I'm in the back room doing testing to see if things are balanced out or whatever else.
Or bugs.
Just making sure that things are done appropriately and done correctly. And not that I'm the be-all say-all. There's a whole bunch of players. Now, a lot of people say, why don't you just play Melee or whatever? I don't know how long most of you have been playing. I played Melee for... Alright, Project M is something that I very recently got involved in, just in the last couple of weeks. And as I said before, I haven't played Smash in like a couple of years. I mean, it's not a prominent thing in my life. If you guys have played the demo of Project M, compared to what's been done since